Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Karen, Lavender Clothesline. So we are on the road going to Goodwill. It is Monday morning. Let's see what we can find to flip for a profit. So as you can see, I am starting this video a little bit differently than I normally do. Normally I take you up and down the aisles to begin with. But when I came in the store was crazy busy, and I got here at 9 a.m. I was one of the first people in, along with 20 other people, and immediately started putting things in my cart. That has been my biggest challenge lately, is shopping and filming and being able to get enough inventory to list on eBay and resupply my store, especially in fourth quarter. So I did put these things in without you, but we're still going to go up and down the aisles, and I will definitely do a proper haul after this part of the footage. Here I was just talking to somebody, and another reseller offered me this Vera Bradley purse. He was going to put it back on the shelf, so thank you very much, Steve. So right now in my cart I probably have about 8 to 10 items. Some of it I purchased and brought home, and some of it I put back. I wasn't quite sure what this piece was. Is that a horse running in a pear? I don't know my Asian symbols. When you see a little sticker like that, there's the Goodwill sticker and then the white sticker. That means it came from another reselling situation. Either an antique booth or maybe a yard sale or something like that. I also found a few pieces of clothing, which I don't know that I'll do clothing in the haul. This is Barbour, Beacon brand. So I picked that up, and I also found this men's shirt, LL Bean. I like it that it's extra large men's tall. I always like to find that. And here is a little shot of my drink of choice, coffee in my handbag. I love when you guys tell me I should carry a crossbody. If you saw the stuff that I carried in my handbag, you would be astonished. And there was a little Gone Fishing game that I was thinking of picking up for Roger's grandsons, but they have it already. All right, so let's get on with the thrifting. Hopefully I'll show you the cart again, and like I said, do a haul after this. One of my favorite things to do in the thrift store is decide what color aisle I'm going to go down first. I know that's ridiculous, but somehow that gives me pleasure. Like, what color do I want to look at today? So today we are starting down the green aisle. And just looking at this little figurine of these two little dogs, but it did have damage, and I don't know that that was worth much. And here I'm seeing this craft. I see quite a bit of this, and I think it's just awful. Those are Dollar Tree crafts, I think. And if you look on YouTube, there are quite a few Dollar Tree crafts. Some of them are pretty good, but I'm not a big fan of the clear candlestick plate craft. I liked this little cubby, but I think it's more about organizing all the little bits in my house rather than making money. And today I'm really trying to zero in on getting some inventory. Because December was a record-selling month, my inventory needs to be replenished. I don't want to fall below 3,000 items in my eBay store. So today I'm really trying to concentrate on buying and filming at the same time, which is harder than you think. If you are a YouTube creator, you understand what I'm saying. Today I'm trying to get a full cart of merchandise. There was the piece of pottery we saw last time. I still don't know what that piece is supposed to be. I always check baggies of items. And today I came home with, I think, 4 different mixed groups in baggies. Here I'm finding a cool single mug, but once again I disciplined myself not to pick it up. I have been selling single mugs, but they don't sell often enough for me, so I've decided to stop picking up single mugs, and I'm doing quite well, disciplining myself. Just a little picture frame. 9 times out of 10, the picture frames that I find are not worth a lot, but that 10% is really good. I find picture frames that are worth over $100. But you have to look at a lot of picture frames to find those kind. And now my eye spots this little bunny figurine. Unfortunately, one of the bunnies is missing an ear. This was made out of metal. I don't know that this would have brought a lot, but I believe it was older. And the string to the string tag is a hint that it came from another store. There is a skull candy bowl. And now I'm putting 2 together, but I cannot find 2 more because I would need 4 for a set to commit to selling those. And now we are turning onto the blue aisle, and it took a second, but immediately my eye then went to this Molly O'Hare bunny kit. It's by Daisy Kingdom. If you guys haven't comped Daisy Kingdom fabric, you want to run a comp and sort highest to lowest. This Daisy Kingdom brand has crazy good fabric that people look for. I don't know if it's still produced, but when I ran a comp for the bunny kit, I did not find anything. That could have been a mistake to leave it behind. So next time I'm in the store, if it's still there, I will take a closer look at it. But to not have any comps that I found kind of makes me leave it on the shelf. Here I'm seeing these plastic Easy Breathe bathtubs. I don't know what these are. So it looks like they were given out by some sort of business, and I quickly leave those behind, and I'm mesmerized by all the blue mugs on the top shelf. So now I want all the blue mugs. I'm just kidding. So I did look at the bottoms of a couple of them, and of course Goodwill puts their sticker right over the branding. But then I realized I really don't want to ship a lot of blue mugs, and I don't know who would want to buy a lot of blue mugs. There's the tap test. I was hoping that was glass. So one of the employees whipped out this metal baker's rack with new inventory. And I figured I would take a second look on camera. I did pull a few items off of this cart when it first came out. And here I figured I would film and give you a sense of digging on this shelf. A lot of times things are piled to where holding a camera and sorting through is quite precarious, but I wanted to take a look anyway. There's another baggie of stuff. I wasn't quite sure what these were. They were handmade. And I think they might have been the type of thing that you put in the microwave and heat them. Kind of like a heating, soothing fish. I'm not quite sure. Maybe for lower back. There was an empty box. Here I see these plaques. This is just paper, decoupaged. They were older, and I did like those, but not enough to pick them up. And a little trinket dish. So by this time, I am in the corner of the store. I am hiding in the corner, trying to get Goofy off the back of the shelf. And then I realized there was a second figure, and I grabbed them both. Now the piglet one is a birthday cupcake, and he winds up having damage. Here I realize there are 2 pictures way in the back. I think these are famous, and I don't know who those are pictures of. When I get the one, I see there is a second one, and pull that out. So leave a comment down below if you know who these children are. I think there were famous, the Blue Boy and somebody else. That's a much older set, but I don't know who those children are, the blonde children. And here I'm seeing the damage on Piglet, and I grab Goofy because I'm gonna run a comp. And there is my cart way down there, and that is why I cover with a sheet. But no worries, I have my handbag with me. And that is the cart that we just dug through. Okay, now my eye spots copper baby shoes that have been bronzed. They are in beautiful condition, and they are bookends. For a while, these were a thing, but I think the market has caught on and become saturated, but I do grab them to run a comp on them. And now I'm spotting an oak reproduction telephone. Very interesting. So I'm not quite sure if this was a bank because I see a key in the top part. Very well made. I don't think this is a working phone, although electricity goes to it. I think it's some kind of bell something or another. I don't know. But I lose interest because this basket catches my attention. Made in Japan, a vintage round handled basket. All handmade, of course, and in the cart it goes. On the sheet it goes. So now I'm wheeling my cart around with the sheet covering it. I think the glue job was awful and ruined that piece. If there were 2 of those, I might have picked those up. I thought this might have been Jim Shore, but it is a ceramic. And then when I tilt him forward, I notice he has a big hole in his head. I was looking for a signature on this lamp. And there I see the sticker, Christian Enterprises. I have to look up that Christian Enterprises. That might be where people are employed. And now we are down the mishmash aisle. It's supposed to be the brown wood aisle. Okay, these were real wood. They were carved, but I don't know who these people are. And they had a numbering on the bottom. I imagine it's for the souvenir trade, but I'm not sure who would want them. And then I see this puppy dog basket. What? What? Do we love this? So here I'm not putting it back. I'm just trying to get a view of his face. Look at that face. $3.99. And in the cart he goes. I think I've seen rabbits. I don't know that I've ever seen a puppy. Definitely vintage. And I love the eyes that they used. I hear something jingling in the bottom of it. And I'm not sure what that is. Curtain hardware maybe? So I leave that on the shelf for somebody else. And the puppy goes right in my basket. So if you look further down the aisle, you see Roger. He's filling a cart for himself. And I have halfway filled my cart. So here is a little snapshot. I'll show you a few things of what's going on. But like I said, the store is so crowded today, guys. You can see 2 people coming to an intersection there. I really had to be careful of filming. But I do want to give you the experience of what it's like in this store. Here are Jordans. These are genuine, $50. And I saw the price, but I did put them in my cart for a little while. And then I put them up front at the register because I know that they like their higher priced items behind the glass so nobody switches the tags. And I do try to help them out by doing that. So I do not take the Jordans. But I'll give you a little snapshot of what's going on in my cart. Most of this you have seen, and I think I've picked up a few pieces. Here is one of the baggies of toys, and some candles, and a Bible, and a few other bits. I know many of you shop the cases in your Goodwill. Almost always the case in my Goodwill means overpriced items. I see Pellon, the resistant bands, and I believe they wanted $50 for those, which was way overpriced. Here are the Xbox games. And not really much else of interest. Here's a wedding gown that has been sitting on top of the glass case. This has to be up here for a month, but I figured we'd look at it. I'm not quite sure what year that is from. My guess would be the 80s, maybe the 90s. A Ninja coffee maker, $30. Now, Ninja coffee makers do, they can bring a good amount of money, but that one did not have the pot. This is an Atari system. And we are onto the white aisle. I often wonder if the white aisle, if anything sells. I feel like I come in this store, shake your tail feather, and it's the same stuff. I think it's everybody's, that's Opal House, everybody's least favorite, that and the clear aisle. I'm still very anti-clear aisle. I think that's False Graph, the cookie jar. That dish had a very 1950s feel to me, but I don't think it would bring, much profit. So some days, guys, the hunt is just going through the shelves, but I always like to bring you with me. I always like to show you what this store has. And you can always leave a comment down below if I have missed anything. There's just a little rock collection. And yes, I do sell rocks. I've sold quite a few rocks. More like geodes and crystals. There's a little angry bear. Alright, so this part of the video, we're just going to go over what I actually bought, and I'm going to tell you what I paid for it and what I expect to get for it. Since none of it is sold, who can really tell what it's going to bring? But let's get started, and I'm going to show you the first item. So the first item is Grace Bone China Teacup and Saucer. How beautiful is that? I'll turn it around so you can see the bird pattern. Now I saw these sitting on the shelf and grabbed them super quick. I absolutely love these. No, I'm not picking up a lot of china these days, as I always say, because, shipping plates and a lot of dishes is just, I'm over it. But these are just so gorgeous. I said yes to them. And I did pick up the 4. Now I paid $1.99 each, so $8 for the 4, and expect to get probably about $75 for the set of 4. As you can see, there are birds on the cup. The inside of the cup is patterned, and the plate is also, or the saucer is also patterned. All right, let's check out the next item. Here is the next item, beautifully mounted butterflies under a frame. Now there is space between the glass and the backboard, and they are labeled what type of butterflies they are. Hopefully my window is not catching too much light that you can see. I might actually keep this one, guys. I know, shocker, right? But I really like this, and when I brought it home, before I even did anything to the haul, I'm like holding it up on different areas in my house just because I love the way this looks. I love the color, just so beautiful. I paid $2.99. There's the sticker. And I don't know what I'm going to get for this. I have not comped these. No, I have sold mounted butterflies before, and I have no idea what I got. But I'm expecting probably 30 to 35, something like that. But like I said, I'm going to hang on to this probably for a little while, meaning a couple of days before I list it and I sell it. Staying with the nature theme, I saw this and grabbed it right away. I don't know if you guys have seen the regular, what is it called, analog clock? Is that what a clock is called with the numbers? You know, regular traditional clock, where there's a bird at each number, and when the hour strikes of that number, a bird call is produced. If I'm saying all of that right. I have never seen this one. This is the singing alarm clock. So it is a digital. And when I ran comps on this, because I didn't know whether this would bring more or less money than the regular, I'm going to call it analog clock, I was pleasantly surprised. So I paid $6 for this, $5.99 if I remember correctly. And what did I wrote this down. It should bring between $50 and $70. This one is new in box, and it comes with the cards so that you can learn about the different birds. So absolutely great find. If you see these, you definitely want to run a comp on them. Next up, this gorgeous plate. How beautiful is this? So as you can tell, it's a glass dish or platter, and just beautiful painted peacock design. This is what the back looks like. No markings on it. I don't see any signatures. I think it's mass produced, and it's in great shape. So I said absolutely yes to this. So I paid $6.99 for the dish or the platter, and I expect to get probably $30 to $35 for it. How beautiful. All right, the next two items, maybe three, are leather items. I love finding genuine leather vintage handbags, especially when they have a good branding. So this one is no different. Let me just get this. This is a Coach vintage handbag. Beautiful condition, and I did give it a good wipe down with the Martin's Balsam, which I talk about quite often. Is a beautiful leather conditioner product that I like to use on shoes and handbags. So this is like, I'm going to call it like a satchel or a messenger bag, and just beautiful. I don't know what date this is from, but nice and clean inside, and it does have the Coach Creed. When you see the Creed, which is either imprinted in the leather or it's a separate piece, but again imprinted, you can identify what bag you have. So I picked this up. Now I did pay up for this. I paid $14.99, but I feel like this is worth it. I haven't checked comps on these bags lately. I knew a while ago they brought a higher money than they do now. The market is a little bit saturated, but this style in the brown and in this condition, it should do well. Again, I'll report back. I don't like to say I expect it to bring. Sometimes I take an educated guess, but I like to tell you what the item sold for. That way we can all learn like what the market is doing and what we really get for our items. So yes to a beautiful vintage Coach leather handbag. The second leather item is a Vera Bradley, and this is really meant to be a crossbody. You can see the two ring loops up here. It's missing its straps, so I did go back and forth a little bit, but it was so nice and clean, beautiful condition, that I felt like I should pick it up. And what did I pay for this? I think this was $5. Did I write it down? I don't think I wrote it down. That is what the inside looks like. And this was actually given to me by another reseller who was going to put it back. So thank you, Steve, for the wallet. And Vera Bradley. I like Vera Bradley all black. I like the handbags that are quilted all black. I talked about those a couple of times with the Kiss clasp. I always have a hard time saying that, Kiss clasp. So I said yes to the crossbody wallet. The last item in leather is not really real leather. It is bonded leather. It is a Nelson Study Bible. You know me, I love picking up Bibles and reselling Bibles. This is Nelson's Complete Study System, NKJV. So if you're not familiar with these letters, this is the format that the Bible is in. This is New King James Version, or the version, I should say. Sometimes you see King James, NIV is New International, NIV, New International Version. So there are quite a few different versions of the Bible. And this is in gorgeous condition. I don't know that anybody's even used this Bible. And what did I pay? $2.99 for this. I'm expecting probably $30 to $35. Next up is an item I love to find. This is a vintage sprinkler. So it is a cast cement frog, and he has a spout on his top or on his back, and here's the connection for the hose. When I find these, I like to make sure that they are not reproductions. The reproductions are like a heavy plastic, a resin plastic, and while they're just as cute, I really like finding the casted cement ones, and that's what this is here. He still has a little bit of dirt. I did give him a wipe down, but I think just from sitting, outside in the yard, they actually get stained from the soil. But I said yes to him. What did I pay for him? I'm looking at my paper. I don't think I put it down. I think I paid either $2.99 or $3.99. I might have caught it in the store video, the store portion of the video, and I'm expecting $60 to $70 for him because he's that good. Okay, so there I said I wasn't going to say what I'm expecting because we should talk about what they sold for, and I guess there's no avoiding talking about what you expect to get for it. All right, what's next? Carved wood animal figurines. So I got this gazelle, I think it's a gazelle, and he does have a little bit of damage to his horn, but I took him anyway, along with the mama. I think this is the mama one in a lighter color. Again, just the very tip of her horn is chipped, and a lion, which I don't think he has any chips. So whenever I see hand-carved wood figures, very hard for me to resist, although I did see people figures, and I wasn't sure what they were, who they were, historical figures. And so I left those on the shelf, but animals that I can identify I usually always take. This lion has a lighter part to his face, so at first I thought it might have been damage, but it's just a lack of the stain, I think, or maybe it's just the wood is lighter. But I felt like he was still wonderful. I paid $1.99 per figurine, and these won't bring much. I think the gazelles might bring $10 to $12 each, maybe $25 if I lot the two together for the gazelles, and the lion I have not looked up. I'm guessing about the same price. Here's another wood item. I didn't know what I was looking at, but I bought it anyway. So this is a wood carved, I guess it's a throwing stick, maybe. First I thought it was a boomerang, that you did this, but I don't know that boomerangs would come back if they're shaped without the curve to bring it on back. Maybe a throwing stick of some sort, a copy of maybe an ancient weapon where they threw sticks at small animals or birds. But there's a signature on the back, Kitty. Now Kitty either made this or she bought it and wrote her name that this belonged to Kitty. I'm not quite sure, but it has a snake motif, very cool. I paid $1.99, no idea what the Kitty signature throwing stick with the snake painted on it is going to bring. All right, I'm just gonna blow through these next few items so this video doesn't turn into an hour long. This puppy dog wicker basket, love the expression in his face. I paid $2.99 for him. He's in fairly good condition. I believe he's vintage. He reminds me of my daughter's pit bull Widget when she was little. She had those type of eyes. So I said yes to that. No idea what that's gonna bring. Did I look it up? Wicker dog basket, no idea. I put a question mark. Sometimes I try to create a cheat sheet for myself so that I can get through a video without not giving you guys the information. So I do try to run comps sometimes ahead of time. Adobe Photoshop, this is sealed new from 2007, I believe. Windows XP Elements 5.0. I believe I paid $2.99 for it, and I'm thinking this is going to bring about $30. Here are some appetizer plates. I love finding this type of design where it has like a scene on it, a village or a city, and they are made in Italy, and I picked up 3 of them for $1.99 each, so $6. I will sell them as a set, and I'm expecting about $25 to $30. And here's the last one. The next item, a set of candlesticks. Now these are just made out of some sort of composite or resin. And I just love the way these look. I don't know what style this is called. Of course, it's a religious theme, but I think this is maybe, I don't know, Italian Rococo. I think I just made that up. But just beautiful. $6, and I'm thinking probably 30. The last item up is not vintage. This is contemporary, but when I find these, I almost always am able to sell them fairly quick. This is a brass framed terrarium. So you can see there are faux succulent plants in it. I really like this. I paid $4.99 for it, quite heavy to ship. My buyer will pay shipping, but I'm gonna have to keep an eye on the price that this will sell at the price that I set it at. So I don't know, I might put this on my coffee table for a while too. All right guys, thanks so much for watching. Go out and get what's yours.